So hi.
All right. Well, let's do this.
What I was going to do some sort of intro, but let's just get into this. Which question are we starting
You
with?
can this up. Pick a question. I don't know.
I'm just going to go from top to bottom, like in the order they've shown up in. So we'll start with Chikanota Raptors questions.
All right. So, guess you read them out.
Yeah, okay, so number one, so if Python, that's you and me, was taking part of the making of the series, does that mean he'll post the series on his channel, or will it just be posted on yours, meaning mine? Because he's asking the question to me.
Yeah, I have the tab up. Well, it's gonna be posted on Scrubwood's channel, but there's also gonna be a prologue, which I'm making completely on my own, which will be posted on my channel.
I was going to ask about that, actually, because even I didn't know that, well, we'd sort of talked about it, but we never decided, but I'm okay with that, because it's one less thing for me.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
One less thing for me to upload. Two, this is his second question, was the reason we collaborated to show more dinosaurs you may not have the figures for, and for new filming locations so PV's locations don't look like exact replicas? Not exactly. I think it was more to do with...
kind of, but
I think there's been a couple of questions like this from multiple people where they're asking where the idea of a collab came from. And for me, it was just something I thought would be interesting to do, to get multiple people writing a script.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably why I agreed with it.
It was more a case of like, I wanted someone to sort of bounce who knew the genre that I could sort of bounce ideas off. Number three, who will be the... Right, his third question, who will be the narrator? Me.
Yes.
I mean, not much more to say there. Number four, this isn't really related to Redacted, but if you ever got the chance, would you ever think about collaborating with any other YouTuber, or maybe even remaking some of other people's dinosaur series? Now, this is the sort of question that I think is interesting for both of us to answer, because I've got an answer to this.
I'll start off here. I technically already have. I've been in a lot of other people's videos. I just posted another collaboration with Scrubwood related to my ongoing show. Will I do it again? Maybe. Will I do something like Doom of Vetera again? Probably not, because when the series ends, I want to focus on Songbird Season 2.
If you do, it probably won't be for a while. As for me, I might be open to more collabs in the future. I would be interested. There's definitely some people who I would be interested in, even if like we don't do a full collab, just like having someone on to look at a script and have some comments on the story could be interesting. In fact, the next Tinselverse will almost certainly end up being a bit of a collab. I've only got vague ideas for that at the moment, so I won't reveal too much, but there's some interesting stuff there. As for remaking anyone else's dinosaur series, I don't think I ever would remake one, but I might continue one. Like, I've joked a few times about making Dinosaur Island Revival, but I genuinely might do that if no one else does.
Prehistoric Valley Revival, coming yesterday.
No, that's your job.
There's gonna be a T-Rex in it.
Oh, gosh. Right, so anyway, Paleo Pat has some questions.
Who's next?
Paleo Pat. His first one is what made you want to collab with each other, which we've already answered, so I'll skip that one. Since both of you two made unique and interesting DinoTube series like this, and looking into this project, have you guys think you've improved? I think he means how do you think you guys have improved? Or do you guys think you've improved?
Well, I think that I've improved with editing because when I was making, especially the early episodes of Songbird Sanctuary, pretty much the main complaint was that the editing was very minimal. And I think even though Scrubwood is doing the majority of the editing for Doom of Vetera, even just the stuff I've done has already improved it.
Yeah, I think this series is a bit of a step up for both of us. For me, I would say
I think that Scrubwood's filming has gotten a lot better.
I'm not sure if
And like his puppeting.
I'm not sure about the puppeting might have. I think
Step up what you've shown me.
I think that's more subtle. Obviously, I now know how to put filters and stuff over footage. I think I've also had more. It's been an interesting experiment in Doom of Vetera to experiment filming in different weather. Before, when I filmed pretty much PV, it was all filmed on dry, sunny days. The only real exception was the last Triceratops because of the time of year I filmed it.
Alright.
I think Doom of Vetera is the first series that I've made that intentionally has a very dark, gloomy atmosphere, which has been a lot of fun to mess around with.
Doom of Terror moment.
What's his next question? If each of you could do one thing that you wished you'd done with your previous series, what would it be?
You take this one first.
I mean, I've kind of already discussed this in a few previous Q&As. I think for me, if I could travel back in time, like Nigel Mervyn, and
Evil Garo moment.
yeah, and remake PV with the hindsight I have now that it's over, I think I would probably cut Series 3 and fuse it into Series 2.
That's an interesting take. So would that mean that the Spinosaurus torvus are gone?
No, they
Or
would...
you have those interact with the tracks?
They would... I'm not sure they would interact with the trikes. I might put them in a different part of the valley, but I'd definitely keep them. Because they technically come through a rift, just one from the future, so I feel like they'd have fit Series 2's arc and theme
I have
better.
suggested, I think, an alternate idea I had for Series 3, where the main conflict, instead of the Spinosaurus torvuses being a team, have them, fighting each other for control over the Forgotten Forest, and everyone else kind of got caught in the crossfire of that.
That is an interesting idea, but I don't think it would work with them purely because the reason they were so threatening is they work together. On their own, they're actually not that. I wouldn't see them beating, any of the big cocks, for example. It's clearly shown that they're about equal with Serration in her Series 3 form. Maybe slightly stronger.
Yeah, I feel like if you did that, you'd have to make them slightly more overpowered individually.
Yeah. Actually, you mentioned the trikes. I could have had them be, antagonists towards the trikes and have that be the war. There's a lot of things that could have been done differently with PV. Some of them might not have worked. It's impossible to know. I'll let you go now.
If I could change something about my show, what I would do, I think, cut out every scene that Nick the Microraptor has, put those in a special or a creature feature or something, and then use the additional screen time to flesh out characters like Bruton, the Raptors, the Cornos, characters who were kind of sidelined, because even though I like Nick and I like the scenes, he doesn't really have any relevance. Oh, yeah, I can also flesh out Nightmare.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you on that. I think I've already said this, but like Nick's story being so disconnected from everyone else's, it just screams special, not part of an episodic series.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the first question, actually directly related to Doom of Vetera. Are there any characters you could potentially leak either the figure or the name? I mean, I could just say no, but I feel like that's a bit boring.
A massive baryonyx.
Yeah, okay. There's a Baryonyx character in the series.
There's
I,
two, actually. There's the baby and the adult we saw in the trailer.
oh yeah. I mean, I wasn't
They
gonna.
get to some shenanigans.
I wasn't.
There's also my boy the Suchomimus, who I definitely did not force into the show.
Oh right, yes, the massive Suchomimus.
The massive Suchomimus.
Do we want to reveal any character names, like just out of context?
I don't know.
Tell you what, I'll reveal. His next question is the plot something like PV or Songbird or something completely different?
It's not. It's completely different.
I'd say it's very different. It's someone else asked a question about that as well, which I'll get to when we get that.
I guess we'll skip duplicate questions because I'm seeing a few of them.
There are, but I think that one is an interesting one. Anyway, if you could do another series once, this is another, like, would you do another collaboration again? Who would it be with?
I've already talked about this one.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. I'll skip that one. Okay. Monke asks, how long have you been planning to do this, and also how long did it take you guys to make it?
I've been planning to do this since, like, last summer.
Yeah, it was last summer. I think, like, towards the end of last year. I know it was before I started releasing PV Series 4.
Yeah.
I know that. And as for how long it took to make it, well, it's not done yet. Otherwise, it would be released by now. Alright, Driptosaurus Productions asks, how much of this series did you film and how much did I film?
I'd say more or less it's about half and half. That's what we tried to do.
Yeah,
A lot of us got specific characters that we focused on.
yeah, there's quite a lot of episodes where, like, one of us filmed more scenes than others. But
Yeah.
overall, it kind of balances out. Is Songbird Series 2 postponed because of this series? This is your question.
It probably would have come out late 2026 or early 2027 had it not been for Doom of Vetera. Now it's probably gonna come out like mid to late 2027. For Songbird Sanctuary content though, I am making specials alongside my work for Doom of Terror. So, the series is not dead for it yet.
Yeah. This is another reason why I'm doing most of the editing and uploading, because I have no reason. Like, I don't have PV anymore, it's done, so I don't have another project to focus on. What was your inspiration for this series? Well, I mean, I guess it was all the other DinoTube series that came before it for me.
Yes.
I could say more, but I think that would give away quite a lot. So I'm not going to. How much of what Python said in his theory videos was correct, and how much was just to throw us off?
everything to do with the name that sparked the beautiful meme Depression of the Mesozoic was all to throw people off. I specifically left out the possibility of it being a three-letter name. The stuff at the start, though, was, like, kind of more hinting towards what was actually happening.
Yeah, I think most of that, obviously none of it was very specific, but yeah, all of that was fairly consistent with what actually goes on in the series. Speaking of that meme, when is the trailer for Depression of the Mesozoic coming out?
It's coming out yesterday.
Sounds good to me. How did the dinosaurs get to Viterra Valley? I mean, we've already answered this.
Yes, it's extension and stuff. They genetically modified the dinosaurs.
Fuzzy Warrior has asked, is the name Viterra a hidden Easter egg to the location, a Roman campsite in Germania? I assume that means what's now Germany. Or am I thinking too deeply into that? You're thinking way too deeply into that. Although, theoretically, because Viterra is the valley is a temperate location, it could theoretically be there.
How many seasons are we planning to make?
Well, one. But
even if Scrubwood decides to do something with the show after the episodes that we're gonna release for Doom and Viterra, I would not be returning for it, because then I'd be making Songbird Season 2.
Yeah, well, I might get you on to do a bit of writing, but also, if the way this series ends, if we do make more stuff in the Viterra universe, it's probably going to be more of a spin-off with a different title. It's not going to be Doom of Viterra still. So the universe could be expanded on more, but Doom of Viterra itself is a very clean, self-contained story.
It's written to be a very standalone show.
Yes, that I would agree with that. And then the final comment, my favourite one from Scaly Studios, is that photo of the Papo-Suchomimus edited, or does it genuinely look that goofy / startled from that angle?
I mean, it's technically edited. It has your filters applied onto it.
True, but
no, it doesn't look that goofy.
Yeah. The filters are very minimal on this one as well.
It does look that goofy.
I think I actually already answered this one in a comment, but I thought it was so funny we should put it in the video anyway.
First thing ever revealed of this show.
Yeah, I know, right?
A massive Suchomimus even.
Alright. Think that's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to both of us and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something before I end this video?
Subscribe to me, or Evil Garo will be under your bed tonight.
Wise words there from the Python. Alright, goodbye.